Hey everybody, it's Triple J. Welcome back to another episode of Bountiful Bayou here in City Skylines. First things first, I recorded about 20 minutes of this episode, and I didn't have the visuals being recorded. Yep, I am a professional. I have done this for countless hours, and yet mistakes are still made. So I recorded about 20 minutes of this episode. I'm going to go through real quick sort of what I did, because I didn't really, I did a bunch of little things and little elements that I was really happy about, and I didn't want to go back and just pretend like that didn't happen, and have to redo them over, because I felt like that would have been painful, so I'm just going to explain sort of what I did. But first things first, when I opened up the map, I got a comment on my last video, which someone reminded me that there's a budget panel, and I could just turn down the amount of postal trucks in the budget panel. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course, the budget panel. So let's do a couple more things, because when I opened up the budget panel, I also realized a couple other things. Now, I did turn it down. However, it still seems like there's many trucks, but we can do it, slowly, one at a time. Okay. So inside the budget panel, a couple things I did. One, I forgot to move to 12% the high density for the taxes. So I moved all of those up to 12%, which obviously money isn't a huge issue for us whatsoever. But, it's still good practice to turn your taxes up, especially if you're having trouble with money. But then I went into the budget panel, and I went down here to the post services, and I lowered it to 80%. Now, it's been sitting like that for about, probably 30 minutes. Now, the traffic is not too bad over here. I can't really speak for the number of trucks or what it has done to the effect of the city or happiness, but it does not seem like we are getting, I can still see a lot of those blue trucks driving around. However, it does not seem to be affecting traffic too badly over here. We can keep an eye on this and monitor it. I just didn't want to drop it to 30%. Let's just do it little increments, little bits at a time. So those are the first things I did. Then I came over here and I finished up this little area of our industrial area, and I decided to add a little bit of offices to make sort of a pseudo office park as well. Added in one commercial building, a little bit more industrial, and then I added in this little plaza with some park benches and picnic tables for them to sit and eat at, and it's kind of separated from the city just a little bit, which I think is nice. And that's kind of what my goal was for this little strip here, was to not have, kind of be a little bit of a bridge, an empty bridge where there's nothing really right here, to this sort of, rolling suburbs over here. So we filled this area in quite nicely, and then I realized that we had upgraded to a level 2 in our trade school. And I was taking a look at it, and I was thinking we should fill some more of this in. We did hit level 2, and we did not place any of the buildings that we got from level 2. So I figured we should get our campus attractiveness up, we should increase student population and academic works to get to our next reputation level. And so to do that, I dropped in a cafeteria right here, which went locked. This little cafeteria right here, I thought that was nice with the curve of this building, sort of working with the curve of this road. And then I also added in these trade school fountains on either side of the main building, which I think look really cool. And I think, we can put some trees and things around that to sort of make that look like it just doesn't drop off into nothingness. And then I added the outdoor study area up here, and I kind of had to finagle it in here a bit. I had to move it a little, but these are such awkward kind of larger spaces, especially with the hills that we're doing here. So yeah, I think that looks quite nice. I think that's all we did. I probably jabbered on about something else. I don't quite remember. Oh, we took a look over here at the farms. We have not. Yeah, so we're making some money with this. We just need the amount of workers to get to the next level, but we are producing plenty over here. But that may be something we do at a different time. So I want to continue working on the trade school here to get more buildings. So we don't have any really more buildings unlocked. The other building we can put down is the trade school gymnasium. I just don't feel like this is the right move. It just doesn't feel like the gymnasium is the right thing for this trade school at this time. We could put a book club down. We have the groundskeeping. Do I have a book club? Oh no, we put the book club down here already. That was a level 1 building. So we've kind of put a couple of the level 2s. I don't know if we're actually going to get to level 3 unless we pop another building down, because we need 450. Yeah. I might kind of see where we get to with the student population, because we're kind of not really close. We need 2 more academic works, and the reality is that I did fund a grant for artisanry, which will help create hopefully more academic works. We can pay for it. We can increase the number of staff. However, it's a 30% work creation chance on its own, versus if we bump it up to 25 staff, it only gives us a 35% chance, and it costs us 20,000 every academic year, which, you know, isn't, you know, in the grand scheme of the money we have, it's not terrible, but for the amount that we're getting, it's just really not, I don't think it's worth it. We could do, I wonder if actually doing some of these policies would give us higher campus attractiveness. I would be, let's increase the student wealth. It's just student happiness. Visiting scholars. The campus hires, increases faculty bonus, faculty upkeep. Why don't we do student healthcare? Let's see what that does to our budget. But I would be interested to see what that does to our attractiveness. You'd think that that would increase it. You know, if I was a student, a prospective student, and I was like, where should I go to school? Well, where will they give me free healthcare? I might go to that school. That would increase the attractiveness for me, but apparently that's not a thing. But, you know, we might get some more people willing to come to the school. I don't know. We'll take a look at that. But let's put a little bit of a pin in that. As terms of this park here, I don't think I really want to add any more than what is here. I think we just need to fill this in. And nothing, you know, like that. Like nothing crazy. Just kind of fill in some of these gaps. We have a little bit of a turn here with nothing in it. I don't know exactly what this was. However, I think this could be a perfect spot since we have that break there. I think this could be a perfect spot for just a little path. See, that's not going to connect because it's goofy. When it works with the curves like that. So what if I just did it here? There we go. Pull that straight up. Like that. I just like it when they're a little bit closer. I'm kind of... Actually, you know what? Can I curve this? Can I have this move a little fluidly into this? Just a little bit of something a little bit more zesty there. Yeah. I don't think I want anything on the side there. That's just going to be all trees. And then on this bit of avenue, I want to be careful about placing zoning on here only because this is sort of a this is becoming a very pivotal, and it's probably going to become even more pivotal when we add in this shopping district. Very, very pivotal roundabout that is going to house much traffic. And yeah, people are stopping here. It does not seem to be a light. It does not seem like there's a light here. But if I can just kind of bring... Yeah, like, just keep going through here. There's really no reason to be stopping. Yeah, it's possible. I think this needs to be two... I don't know why this isn't actually two-lane highway here. That should absolutely be two. I mean, it's coming out. In fact, this should all be two. And this whole thing could probably be upgraded to 3-lane. Might be a little nutty. It's a pretty tight roundabout. It's a pretty tight roundabout. And yeah, we're going to start to see some problems here, but I bet I can fix it if I just pull this back. Yeah. Just a bit there. We're going to want... I don't think there's any lights here, but let's sort of indicate where people can go. I think the reason that they're going so slow right here is because the nodes are too close together. Yeah. Yeah. See, and then that's going to be all weird and stuff, but I bet I can go. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, what happens when you see the traffic slowing down like that, that generally means that there's two nodes that are too close together, and that's why they're doing that weird slowdown thing. See, we're having a lot of people turn around here as well. I'm going to pull that also back. Yeah, you know what? I think it might be worth us doing a little bit of work on this roundabout. Just to make sure we have everything kind of squared away. So if you're coming down the road here, I want you to stay in your lanes. Just stay in the lane that you're in. If this is 3, you can cross. I guess that might cause problems, but we'll see. We're gonna have a lot of crossing traffic here, but I think it's okay. So this will go. You will stay in the roundabout. You'll stay in the roundabout here. And then this one will go there. This one will go here. And there, potentially. And I guess if you're in this one, you can just kind of slide all the way across. See, I'm never great at this. This is not one of my strong points, is working roundabouts. I've done so many of them, and it's still not my strong suit. This is a very big stretch here. Yikes. Oh, that is such a massive shift. Well, if you're going to go there, you should be able to do that. And this. And this. I guess? Kind of staying inside the roundabout there. I'm not going to do that one. We'll have to see if this causes problems. Because I don't actually know. I don't actually know if this will cause problems, but let's do that and that, and then here I guess you can go there, and then there as well. And then if you're in that, you should be able to manipulate and go all the way around. And then over here, we got to make sure that you can't turn left like what that cop just did, because that's no bueno. That's pretty straightforward. You know, Don't go left. Only go right. We'll kind of see how that, you know, shakes out a little bit. But we're going to have a lot of traffic coming through here, so it's going to be very imperative that this works. It's possible, and we have enough room-ish to do it. We could rework this a little bit, but it's possible that we need to make it a little bit bigger. Bigger of a roundabout. That's certainly an idea, but I think because of this stretch here, I don't think I want any zoning. I think if we're going to do any sort of zoning at all, it's going to have to be, you know, it's going to have to look like it's on the road, but it's not, you know, meaning like bringing a road out like this and then only having, you know, zoning on the inside. I'm down for that over here because that could just be residential. It does create a kind of weird intersection right here. However, I don't think there's going to be that many people moving through there. And quite honestly, I could make this a one-way. I don't know. It's kind of quirky and funny. Let's just do this. Well, it's not funny. I don't know why I said that, but it's weird. It's a quirky road. And everybody's got quirky roads where they live. I just want to leave a little bit of a gap there just for some trees. Then we can have houses on this road. And we could use the prop line tool to give ourselves, let's see, 15 maybe? Give ourselves a little tree line. Right there. You know, just really think about this as more of like an expressway between areas. And now that I'm seeing that, kind of feels like it might be a good idea to do something like this. Go over this. And then drop down to there. Just to give people the option to walk across, because there's no well, there is a crosswalk here, but I don't necessarily want them crossing here, which there isn't really people crossing there, so I'm cool with it. Yeah, I kind of like these really tight little connections here. I think that's kind of interesting. Especially being a one-way like that, I'm not super concerned about it. Another tree there. And maybe even just to jazz it up a little bit more. Put a tree, fence along there. Kind of make it feel like more of a promenade. And then on this side, similar thing. Very similar thing. However, I'm just going to take away that little bit. There will be a business right here. And then just house or trees. Just trees. I don't know how many people are going to be using this. Can I actually add a crosswalk right there? There we go. So you can cross the street. They might use this, they might not. I think as we expand out over here, they will use it more. Certainly. If you hear a rumbling in the background, some sort of a low rumbling, that is Pepper. She is snoring right now, and she's in the room with me, and it is quite something. Quite something. I'm going to add a little bit more of this. Just kind of, I don't think I really want to put any more houses here. I think it's just going to be, we could expand on, I could expand off this. I'm cool with that. So let me turn this back on. I'm cool with like doing something like this. You know, and then something like that. Put that in there, and then we can make some more connections.
Maybe he's the axe murderer's secret wingman.
Like that.
If we're lucky.
Just make a couple more connection points. I don't know. I don't actually think anybody's going to maybe walk this, but it's possible. There's a couple people doing it. Now, if we bridged over to this, I think we might have people using it. However, that doesn't feel... Well, I could sneak it in right here. I don't know if that feels feasible to me. It feels like they would want to be separated. I don't know. For some reason, putting a branch there doesn't really work for me. But I guess there are people using it. There's a couple people. That's all I'm looking for. Just the tiniest bit of foot traffic. It's also possible that we could have this connect over to this side if we decide that there's, I don't know, more people living over here. It's certainly possible. But for now, it gives us a little bit of variation. You know, right here. Just kind of fills that area in real nice. Yeah, just adding that little bit of walking path can kind of just break up the trees a bit. I think it might be worth having a path from here over to this side. And I could just connect it to... this crosswalk. I could. They could easily walk across this crosswalk. However, again, they're going to want... to stop there more, and it's probably just going to cause more confusion. So I think the better play is just to raise it up. I'm going to turn off proper tree here real quick. Just kill those trees underneath. Across like that, and then down. And then actually, I think just to solidify that, I'm going to take the traffic president, and I'm going to click on this. I'm going to say no crossing. You can cross there, I guess. That's fine. But no crossing across this avenue here. If you want to cross, you got to use this. And already people are using it. Fabulous. If we can pull some cars off the road, I'm all for it. So if you need to go to work and you live right over here, easy peasy. Walk it up. Great. And already people are doing it. This feels bustling already, which is really, really awesome. It feels like we have a very alive little city here. Full of trees, full of greenery. Very alive. This is really, really starting to come together, and bridging these two pieces has been really, really good. Now, over here, we never really finished this. Never really finished this. Actually, wonder if you can just put in some picnic tables right in here. Of course, it's just on grass. Just a couple corner areas. So we're getting a lot of trucks. A lot of truck traffic. Are they coming down from over here? I mean, a lot of people walking. Now, of course, you have to remember that outside of the trains, we do not have any public transportation yet, which it might cause us a little bit of issues down the road. But generally speaking, especially if we're going to institute sort of buses, for things like trams or monorails, train, things like that, anything you have to build a road for, you definitely want to start thinking about how that infrastructure is going to go in. However, over here, when in smaller towns like this, I generally don't use many of those things. Now, something we could do, this avenue could probably turn into like a tram fairly easily. We could turn this into some sort of a tram, route, and have it just sort of, connect up to this train station over here and then connect up, maybe down here somewhere. We could have a little bit of a turnaround. Theoretically, we could do something like that. That actually might be nice. However, I struggle with this because I guess this feels pretty large, but it doesn't feel big enough to me to warrant necessarily a tram. But maybe I need to rethink that. Maybe I should rethink that. I mean, this is pretty bustling, certainly. But is it bustling enough for a tram? It could be. Just trying to think. I mean, there's so many people walking this. Look at all these people walking. I mean, it's great. It's really, really good to see. And also, we could connect it up to the campus. So it connects you to the train station, through this little village, through this village, and then over here, essentially, to this train station. You would probably end up using the train still, because it's probably faster, because we have so many stops. But, I could have a little turnaround kind of happen right in here. This would be actually a decent place for a tram station. And it would connect up to the, the mall. Yeah, that, now that the more I think about it, so the only thing I would have to figure out is how we would branch around this. Because part of me is thinking that I don't know if I want another connection point off of this, because it's just going to get so nutty that maybe I would instead rather just have a, straight up connection off of this for this little shopping district. Again, I don't think this shopping district's going to be huge, but instead this could be a tram road as a diverting tram route. That would require a little bit of this adjusting. But the more I start talking about it, the more I kind of like the idea. I started with not liking the idea because it was too small, but then now I like it. Because it's relatively doable with very little changing to what we have going on right now. This would also need a little bit of adjustment, but at the same time, I can just use... Well, that's the trolley bus. I guess I could do trolley bus, but the 2-lane one-way with tram. We can do trams or trolley buses. Well, I'm going to have to think about that one, but potentially we might do that in the next episode to sort of give ourselves a little bit of, I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of it, that is such an important artery in this area that we have going on here. This road is a really, really important artery, so it would make sense that you would have some sort of, massive public transportation. I could do a bus route going all the way up and down this thing. Or we could do something a little bit more, a little different. I'm going to noodle on that. And potentially in the next episode, that might be what we do. But for now, that's going to do it. I think we are doing a lot of nice things over here, though. Making a lot of connection points. Bridging the gaps between some of these areas that kind of felt like they were out in space by themselves. Making some good decisions. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. But everybody, that is going to do it for me for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of Bountiful Bayou here in City Skylines. Bye, everybody.